Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we are going to be pruning my roses, at least some of them. Autumn is coming and the temperatures have piped down a little bit, so it's time to shape a little bit, trim a little bit my roses for the autumn flush, autumn and winter. I live in an area with a very warm climate and very hot summer, so my rose season is not summertime. It's actually from autumn all the way to the spring. Not everybody prunes their roses. They don't go dormant here. We kind of force them in a way to go dormant by defoliating them and hard pruning them in January, but in September or so it is time to shape a little bit these guys and just prune away whatever leaves scorched or whatever doesn't look good after the summertime. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's not gonna be a hard prune, it's gonna be maybe a third off of the bushes, and as you will see, not everybody will get a prune. I'll show you. So that we prepare them for the October 1st flush, which I do believe will be spectacular. In my area for Christmas, we do have roses in bloom. And as I was saying, not everybody prunes them, but I find them prettier being shaped. So with that said, let's start. I should wear some better gloves, but these will have to do. I will also sanitize with some alcohol my pear pruners in between roses. And with that said, what I want to do is, as I was saying, cut away about a third of this rose. This particular one, which is Madame Anisette, has some already growing branches lower down. So what I want to do is remove the top, let's say, and give this bush a more rounded and compact shape. This is a type of rose that grows pretty tall, but you can maintain its height by trimming it to certain levels. So this one doesn't really have a branch, but I see the cane next to it has multiple branches at that level. So I'm gonna take down this cane at about this height. I'm not gonna bother too much to cut at a outward facing node just yet. I'm gonna do those cuts after. I just want to give a height, let's say, to the bush. I'll also cut this one, I do believe here. As I was saying, it already has some branches. Oops, there's a praying mantis there. Let's not bother her too much. This one is still growing and I have the feeling it's gonna grow tall, so I'm going to prune it here. This one as well. I'm gonna prune it here. And also this one does have some branches, so I'm just gonna prune it above those branches. And that is about it on this bush, I do believe. Let me just take another look-see. I would cut this one a little lower at a more outward facing bud, and I'll address that one a little bit as well without disturbing my little mantis. Okay, so this one looks already very nice like this. I am not going to defoliate anything. Yes, there is a little bit of, actually, I can take this one out as well because they're already bloomed. So this one has like a cluster that used to be blooms here, and it's also a little bit light in color, which happens in the summertime here. We're also gonna feed the rose bush, but I can get rid of this and give that cane a chance to produce side branches, and I think we're pretty much done with this one. Now let's go to another one which has actually more flowers, but it's in the sun. Hopefully the quality of the video will be good, but you're gonna see there's a little bit more work to do with that one. All right, so this is the best that I can give you. I know it's a little bit sunny. I should have done this earlier in the morning, but it was a bit too early. Anyway, so this is my Princess Alexandra of Kent bush, and as you can see, we have a lot of discoloration. We also do have a lot of buds coming, but a lot of spent flowers already. So it is time to prune it. I do want to prune it. This one, I'm just gonna go below the clusters. Do we see that? I'm just gonna cut one. So this rose has already been cut here, and then it has a cluster, I like to call it, of blooms. I want to cut below this cluster so that the bush sends out another one of these branches with multiple clusters. So I'm going to remove all of these clusters. Again, I'm going to cut down about a third, and that should be good for this rose. All right, so we took this one down quite a bit, but this is because it's a very, very big bush. And let me get you in closer so you see some details that I talked about, but maybe you didn't see. Now, when I do my cuts, as I was saying, I'm not going to fuss too much about shaping it or cutting it about a node that goes outwards. I actually don't want this bush to go too much outwards because it's a very sprawly type of bush. So you can see here I already have a bit of a new growth and it's going that direction. It's fine because I have a walkway here. I don't want it to like continue growing towards the walkway and stab me in the legs. So in my area, we don't have issues with black spot or fungus, or at least not now. We'll see more in December in the rainy season, but now I don't think we're gonna have issues. So for me, it's not so important to create like air in the middle as much, and especially not now, maybe in January. So this is more of a shaping based on what I like type of a prune, and this is all I cut. As we can see, it's kind of discolored, so I cut away all of the growth that do not grow so well in the summertime. So all the bushes that I have will be cut kinda in this manner. Even if they have buds, they will create new ones. The flowers that are blooming now are still not completely normal in the summertime. Roses here, you know, they don't really bloom so well. They bloom well in cooler seasons, so I don't care too much about these buds because they would not look good anyway. The buds that will come in October, those ones will start to look good. So yeah, I'm gonna cut away some buds, but that is absolutely fine. So I'm gonna cut away in this manner most of my bushes, except the ones that I planted very, very late in the season, such as this one. This one I'm not gonna cut anything yet because it did not grow much. This is Gabriel Oak, and it does not need a trim right now. There's nothing to cut. I'm waiting for big strong canes to start growing in the cooler seasons, and we're gonna do a more shapely type of prune in January most likely. Same story with this one. This one is Bliss Perfuma, and again, as we can see, she's very, very tiny. So it's okay, I don't need to cut anything on this one, just deadhead and wait for stronger canes to grow. Right, so now it is time to fertilize and offer some iron because yeah, they're depleted. I like to fertilize twice a year, actually, once in the spring or January when I prune them, and then in the autumn. I think that's a good schedule for my area, so let me show you how I do that. So what I like to use is an organic fertilizer that comes in a pelleted form. I will give you more details after I show you how I fertilize. And what I like to do is remove a little bit this mulch. I kind of should have watered prior, but it's okay, we're gonna do this with dry soil. I wanna like rake it a little bit, just a little bit, so that I can scratch in the fertilizer. So I'm going to put about a fistful of fertilizer, scratch it into the soil, and then put back my mulch. I need more mulch, I know. There has been a lot going on in the garden, lots of changes and stuff, and I'm missing mulch, but that's okay. So I have the fertilizer scratched in, and before I water it in, I'm also going to add iron separately. So for the iron, I'm just going to powder, again, an amount around the bush a little, kind of like that, and then water it in. And I like to give a good water. So I make sure that all of these products start to soak in. Right, so I will go ahead and do this with all of my bushes, off camera of course, but job's done. This is pretty much all I have to do in autumn. And we're gonna come back with an update video maybe in October to show you the results of the pruning, of the autumn pruning. So this is the fertilizer I use. It is produced locally and it has a very good price since it's produced locally. And let me just see, oh, there we are. These are, where are you? These are the nutrients it has. As you can see, it doesn't really have iron. So in my area, it's a really, really good idea to supplement with iron as well. Well, it does have a little bit of iron. I'm lying, but Not too much, it's just trace elements. And if you noticed, I did add quite a bit of iron. In my area, the soil is kind of low on iron. It's not very clay, it's kind of sandy. I have a sandy loam here, so I have to improve it with organic matter and iron. And it's also high pH. Also, my water has a high pH. So apart from this, I like to use chelated iron. Again, from the same company, produced locally. I'm not sponsored, it's just very affordable since it's produced locally. And this iron is chelated by using the method EDDHA. Now, this method of chelating iron makes sure that the iron becomes available to plants in very high pHs, up to pH 9 or so. I'll put it on the screen. If you're buying chelated iron using EDTA, this iron will only be available up to pH 6 or 6.5, which for me is absolutely not useful at all, because the soil pH and the water pH is I'm not sure about the soil pH, but the water pH at least is around 8. So whatever iron I add to my garden, it's barely going to get picked up by my plants. So this local brand chelates iron using EDDHA, which is much more suitable for our area. Since it's a local producer, I think they know what they're doing. And I have had absolutely amazing results using this type of chelated iron. Now, when you go to the shop, you don't need to look for this brand. You just need to look at the chelating method. Search for EDDHA if you have issues with EDTA iron. If you don't, if you have already acidic soil, don't mind this. Just purchase stuff that are appropriate for your conditions. And this is appropriate for high pH soils or high pH water conditions in general. Now, this doesn't all have to happen today, especially in the case of Amor de Molène. She's just flushing out right now, and the flowers actually look pretty decent. She has looked pretty decent all summer long, so with her, I'm gonna wait a little bit. Pretty much throughout September, I'm gonna go ahead and trim my bushes. It doesn't have to be all at once, depending on the bush. If I want to see a few flowers, I'm just gonna wait maybe another week. But yeah, that is about it, and I hope they're gonna flush out beautifully in October. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you with an update in October. Stay tuned, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, with that said, hope you have a great day. Bye!